But if we are living in the last days, then there must be radical political change occurring right now. And surely, a superpower like the United States, which is heavily involved in world affairs, isn't partaking in such an agenda. If that's what you think, well, you would be wrong.
One of the greatest overseeing authorities that you can have today is who controls the internet. Because whoever controls the internet controls and can limit what you say. Now keep in mind that almost all business transactions on the entire planet are internet-based. So whoever controls the internet directly or indirectly controls the world's economy. So this is one step away from global financial control.
The United States is often referred to as the father of the internet, and since its inception in the late 1970s, the U.S. has virtually monopolized the development of all new web-based technologies, and for the most part, defines and controls the technology and laws that govern banking systems, financial transactions for all web and retail-based business, and permits freedom of speech, which is protected under the U.S. Constitution. One would think that a nation with such influence over the internet would continue to retain as much control as possible. But through behind closed doors discussions between the U.S. government and outside influences, the United States has recently decided to give up that control to a private organization called ICANN, which most believe will be influenced by globally cooperating and overseeing authorities like the UN.
And we have just handed all of our authority to another party. Why would the United States hand over that kind of control to another entity? It probably makes sense to the governments of the world. See, the governments, they look at our trends. They look at the financial problems. They look at everything from a global perspective. They look at nations, economies going up and down. They see terror. They see all the problems that us people don't pay any attention to. It's more certain than not that they have already concluded a while back that there is no hope for all the individual nations of the world individually being sovereign. They must cooperate in order to solve these problems. So when we see that the United States has transferred all control over the internet, including all the financial information, to another entity, it doesn't make sense to us, but it makes sense to the world authorities who are now merging, because it can't be merged overnight. It's being merged in slow incremental values so that in the end, it's a very easy transition for the average citizens on Earth to accept. But I believe this has been in the works for quite a while, but they're not doing it because it was prophesied. It was absolutely prophesied. They're doing it because it's the logical thing to do to take care of the citizens of Earth.
And what of the freedoms of Americans regarding free speech on the internet? Well, many believe a globally controlled internet will of course result in a globally controlled standard of what one can and cannot say online, all in the name of global stability, of course.
Essentially, what has happened is that the United States gave away the ability to control the free speech of the American citizens. This is nothing but one step away of censorship where we could be, in the future, controlled by another authority. They will tell us what is allowed and what is not allowed. In other words, if your actual speech is no longer under the control of the laws of your country, it's moving toward a one-world government.